What's up, my beautiful people? Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. And today we're going into r/self-improvement for some encouragement and ideas of what you can do to improve yourself during these quarantines. So, let's get to it. Our first post is from user Amberger310. You find what you look for. I've come to realize that this is the single most valuable thing I have realized in my life. I used to be really preoccupied with mental illness. Am I mentally ill? Will I ever go crazy? My mom started having really awful psychotic episodes about 15 years ago, and I was convinced I'd go crazy. I constantly read about mental illness, what that meant, what the symptoms were. I found it in myself, I found it in other people. I eventually went crazy, and it was awful. I was convinced every person I met was a crazy, selfish jerk. But I was too, because I looked for it in myself. A couple of years ago, I started reading about mental wellness. What is emotional maturity? What are good qualities? What do I like in this person? Yeah, that person is obviously a jerk. But is that it? Is there more to them? Is there good? Eventually, I noticed that when I expected people to show me their good sides, they absolutely would. It's not just people, though. You find what you look for in life, too. But it also depends on the beliefs that you hold about yourself. You may be looking for love, but are you expecting possible partners to abandon/manipulate you like the last one did? Because you'll see that, even if it's not reality. Think about the placebo effect. What are your beliefs about life and about yourself? What are you looking for? Negativity or positivity? Can you find the good in the most dire of circumstances? Because this is freedom. This is transcendence. Be aware of the negative, sure. Don't get hurt needlessly. Just be mindful of what you're looking for, and you absolutely will find it. Well, a short post, but I think especially right now with everything going on, extremely timely and relevant. You know, Pete, you're right. You do find in life what you're looking for. If you look for the worst in people all the time, then that's all you're going to see, and most likely you're going to be alone for a very long time. And I'm not just talking in terms of a relationship, just no one will want to be around you because they're all going to be on eggshells about what bad are you going to see in them now. If you're looking for the best in people or in any particular situation though, your life is bound and destined to be so much happier and more enjoyable to live. And right now with everything going on, that perspective of what good is happening out there right now is so important. Because the media is just inundating us day in and day out with doomsday scenarios and everything else. And I'm not trying to say that COVID-19 isn't an issue, but there's no real positive perspective of look at the things that are happening. Look at how GM and Ford and other motor companies have decided to stop car production temporarily to make ventilators. Look at how communities have banded together. Look at cruise companies being willing to donate their ships as hospital barges to house the sick in quarantine to keep them away from everyone else, while still being able to be comfortable. All these different things are happening. You are truly seeing some stories of the best of humanity, if you're willing to look for it. And you know what? One of these days, I might actually just do a video highlighting some of the positive things that we're seeing right now. Regardless, though, I'm really appreciative that you shared this post just to remind people of why it's important to keep a positive perspective. And wherever you're at, I really do wish you the best. Our next post is from user AAA2105. But first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit Happy. Also, check us out on social media at the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon links in the description below. I'm not going to let the corona outbreak ruin the progress I made in the last 6 months, although it is giving me a hard time. I, male 18 years old, had a difficult time finding friends in school. I've had the same 2 friends for the whole time, and although we had a lot of fun together, it often was like a toxic relationship. My 2 friends always mocked me, but we were always dependent on each other, which resulted in me developing super low self-esteem and probably also depression, although never officially diagnosed. After I graduated from high school, I started from zero, began to voluntarily work in a hospital, which I'm still doing. I've found some new friends, we did a lot together, and I even met up with a girl I really like a few times. I felt that I was making huge steps in terms of social skills, gaining confidence, and shaping my personality. But with the corona outbreak, it feels like I am losing all of this again. I somehow messed up with that girl, can't meet any of my friends due to social distancing, and because schools and most offices are closed, my mom and sister are at home all the time, and they are also struggling in their lives. So when I come home from my exhausting work, there's even more stressful things to cope with. It is super hard to keep focusing on your main goals in times like this, but I want to encourage anyone who's in a similar situation and might read this to not give up and be a stronger, better version of yourself once this crisis ends. Now, OP, first off, thanks for sharing this, because it is a motivating post for people that might be seeing the goals that they set for themselves go by the wayside in terms of just how able they are to stick to them. Any goal for self-improvement is doable. It doesn't matter the circumstances, even in a situation like this. I saw a meme just earlier today with a picture of Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where, he was all jacked and ripped from doing his workouts inside of a prison cell. And the caption was just saying, if Iroh can look like this working out at home, you can too. You have no excuse. It's really true. And while it's a bit niche in terms of who it's appealing to, the message itself is actually very poignant. It doesn't matter the circumstances you're in. It doesn't matter if you're isolated. There are still ways that you can be able to continue to improve. You, for example, maybe you messed up with this girl, but you can use it as a means to try and find ways that you could do better next time. Go through YouTube and find videos on ways to socially communicate. I will say, though, avoid the pickup artists, because don't do it, dude. Just stay away. Or things you can do from home to improve. There's so many opportunities. But you've definitely got the right perspective here in terms of what you're trying to do, in terms of not letting something outside your control ruin the progress you have already made. So thank you so much for sharing the post, and I really wish you the best with what you're doing. Also, thank you for volunteering at the hospitals, because right now I am sure that they need all the help they can get. Our next post is from user Good Days Will Come, reframing what it means to indulge oneself. Often, when I do something rather unhealthy, I excuse it with, I treat myself to X. For example, in restaurants, I have the tendency to order unhealthy, greasy food like fries with the excuse that I don't eat this way at home, which is only partially true. Or when I sit in front of the TV, I am doing that under the assumption that I am treating myself to some relaxation after a long workday. Not only did I realize that, but I also realized that every behavior and decision matters. It adds up and becomes my life. Why don't I treat myself to a nice vitamin-rich salad with chicken full of protein? This is much better for my body, and it tastes very good too. Or eat an apple instead of gummy bears. Why don't I treat myself to a fast-paced 30-minute walk and watch Netflix afterwards? Moving is an investment in my physical health and mental health. Why don't I treat myself to 30 minutes of journaling to learn more about myself instead of just numbing my feelings by playing video games? With more mindfulness, I am much more in tune with what actually is good for me versus what only seems good or satisfying. I probably will never be the kind of person to only eat greens, no sugar, no TV, run a marathon, etc. But every step into that direction will give me a better quality of life and better health. Reframing what indulgence and spoiling myself means makes it easier to keep it up. And reframing is such a powerful tool for getting better in different aspects in life. Oftentimes, we think about stuff in a certain way, but never question why we think about it in this way. Seeing a different angle or a different viewpoint can help to dissolve unhealthy habits and thoughts. Well, if you haven't noticed by this point, there's kind of a running theme with these stories that I've been doing. And that's how important it is to reframe things and to see life, especially with how crazy it is right now, under the right mindset and with the right perspective. And let me tell you right now, it is so easy to overindulge in some of these things, like, just playing video games all day because you have to stay inside, or, just eating whatever crappy food you may have because you have a stay-at-home order and you can't actually go out and buy anything, or just any sort of excuse. In reality, you don't have the excuses you think you do. You can still work out inside. Stay-at-home orders don't prohibit you from going out for the necessities. And oh yeah, that tablet you may have or that phone, you can get books on that. You don't have to go to the library. It is so important for a healthy life to do just this sort of reframing, to reanalyze what things you'd consider indulgences and what you can do to be happier. So OP, thank you so much for sharing the post here. Thank you so much for just giving that little insight into what you're doing to make your own life better. And wherever you're at, I really do wish you the best. That was r/self-improvement, and if you're looking for more positive, uplifting stories of things that people are doing to improve themselves, then go ahead and check out the playlist link in the description below. Also, feel free to share this because right now, positivity really is in short supply, and I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who would benefit from it. Now you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside if you're supposed to. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.